Hi guys, welcome to day 12 of your home workout routines with QSwim. Today we're going to get back into another yoga sequence. This time we've picked 5 poses, and what we're going to do with the poses is we're going to transition from holding each pose for 5 breaths, transitioning through all of those poses, then go through and holding it for 3 breaths, transitioning through those poses, and then lastly for 1 breath, and then we're going to swap sides. The idea behind this is that when we're holding for 5 breaths, we're really focusing on our alignment. So you get the time to actually adjust, find those little cues that work for you, and then move on to the next one. From holding each pose for 5 breaths, we then move down to 3 breaths. And this time we focus on our transition. So we're still building on our alignment from the first round. Then we're focusing on how will we move from one position to the next. We go through our 5 poses that way, and then finally we finish with our 5 poses with just 1 breath. And the 1 breath, we're really working on trying to get our flow happening between these shapes. Okay, so 5 breaths, 3 breaths, and 1 breath, and I'll take you through the whole sequence today. Alright, so coming to the front of your mat, and we're going to start with a high lunge. So we're taking a big step back, bringing our head, ribcage and hips in alignment, and we're breathing here for 5 breaths. Our focus here is on ribs down, so we shouldn't feel anything in our back here. We should feel a nice opening through the front of our thigh on the right hand side. We're breathing down into our belly, and again we're holding that just for those 5 breaths. If you'd like to, you can take your hands above, but just to start with, we'll go hands onto the hips. Okay. So that'll be about 5 breaths. We're going to come up, we're going to pivot. So the back foot's going to be at 90 degrees, about where it intersects with the middle of your foot. We're going to come up into a classic yoga pose, Warrior Two. We've got to look towards our front middle finger, and we're again breathing down into the belly. Try to have even weight between the legs. Don't worry too much about the position of the legs, but you want to have the balance right between those 2 positions. Should feel the quads working here, the outside of the foot on the right foot pressing down into the mat. So this is our warrior position, or Warrior Two position. From here, we're going to go into reverse warrior. So my right hand comes down and rests on the back of the leg, not on the knee, but on the back of the leg. And the left hand, palm faces back, reaches up towards the ceiling, eyes towards the fingers. We're trying to open up through the front rib cage here. Again, breathing into that space, not putting pressure down onto our knee. Good. And from there, we're going to come down into our extended side angle. So forearm onto the side, rib cage opening up, trace the thumb into the armpit and then reach. And you're trying to create a nice straight, long line from the fingertips all the way down to the outside border of the right foot. And this really loads this left quadricep up. Try to take some pressure out through the abs. Still breathing down into the belly. Good. From here we're going to pivot off that back foot. We're going to twist. We're going to bring our hands towards our chest and we're going to keep twisting. Again, we're going to breathe here for 5. Alright, come back up, this time 3 breaths. You should be able to do this whole sequence in and out through your nose, breathing in and out through your nose. So say I've got 1 more breath here. Good. As I exhale, I'm going to twist and transition. So remembering we're focusing on our transition this time. See if you can transition on your exhale. Good. As you exhale, nice and smooth as you reach up. Good, forearm comes down, exhaling, opening up. Try to elongate both sides of the body. If you want more challenge, you can bring your hand up, which makes it a lot harder. Not quite there right now. Good, and as I exhale, I'm going to twist, turning my chest, breathing. Good. Coming back up into our crescent lunge or our high lunge. So one breath in. As I exhale, I'm going to transition into warrior two. And back into our reverse warrior, breathing in. As you breathe out, come forward, elongate. Breathing in the pose. As you exhale, twist. Breathing in. And as you exhale, we'll frame that front foot. We'll step back. We'll lower down. We'll inhale up into upward dog. And then we'll exhale and back into downward dog. Let's look forward, step, we'll hop the feet through. And standing up nice and tall. Alright, so we'll do the same on the other side. Big step back, this time with the left. So 5 breaths for alignment, 3 breaths to maintain alignment and then focus on our transitions. And then 1 breath to focus on flow. Okay. So 2 more breaths here. Elongating the front of the hip. Good. Pivoting. Coming up into warrior two. Now a lot of times people will say pull your shoulders back and down. We don't want to do that. We want to float the shoulder blades up so they're floating and sitting happily on our rib cage. Our eyes are looking forward towards our middle finger. Good. Strong legs. Coming back and reaching up into our reverse warrior. So don't just put pressure on your knee here. The strength comes from your legs, the length in the front of the rib cage here. Good. We'll go into our extended side angle. So trace and lengthen. Try to be strong through your feet. Take the pressure as you drive down through the feet into the mat. Go for 1 more breath. We're going to pop that foot off. Twist. Hands come to the chest. Hook the elbow around. Nice and long through the body. And again, breathing here for 5. So really starting to work those quads. Good. From there we'll come up. Again we'll set into our high lunge or our crescent lunge for 3 breaths. Again this time we're focusing on how well we transition. So thinking about our alignment and then moving into our transition into warrior 2. Good. Into our open reverse warrior. Again, sweeping and transitioning smoothly, elongate, breathing. Good. Nice control as you pivot into our rotated extended side angle. Good. From there we're going to come up. So we're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, transition. Breathe in the pose. Breathe out as you transition. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out as you transition. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, we're going to frame that foot again. Slide the foot back, lower down. Inhale up into upward dog. And exhale back down into downward dog. So I'm just going to open up the front of my hips a little bit here. So I'm going to walk my hands back a little bit, float the hips up, and just allow my hips to rock from side to side, just a little bit, and relax back down. One more time, we'll squeeze our glutes so our hips come up a little bit. Abs still need to be on here to get a nice stretch and open through the front of the hips. And release and let go. One last time. Righty. So you can pick any poses that you like out of any yoga sequence that you know, but it's nice to be able to go from alignment focus to transition focus to flow focus. If you can ensure good alignment and then transition well and then find your flow, you're going to really get a lot out of your yoga sequences. Alright, we'll see you again tomorrow.